Vareka mo 2017 kusizereka tupu mwana yumampili yongani
ngororo nokukonja pena mara kaptakere nonke no iruganso nanyi ya vulira ya wapera kara moninke mu projeka.
We started with this project in 2012. What happened that my husband was attacked by a stroke. When he became a stroke patient, the prescribed food from the doctors was to eat more vegetable than meat. It is how we have now started with this project. And later, the produce became more. We could not use it for the household alone. Then we started to sell some of the produce. And later we expand.
Tuandu 8 twakere na tuenye wakadi kadi. Makura wakwetu yowatu ndamwasi ya wao kapitali zambelele 300. Kwa tuwao pamonye tuwane.
Pameta wizako pamkapita wizako asimora iruga na songwe udigu kapita vaivuru. Makuro se yotuputo ale simbres digo setatu rugana tupungororo. Tane na wo kapita tamburo zo 300. Makura se otara tupasi mnduo zo 300 se okara mimbo kapita zivuru kuzigwana.
Water is life. As it is commonly said, in whether free-flowing or groundwater, Kavango West region is blessed with abundant water resource and of course, fertile arable land. And while these are considered the riches of the region ranks top from the bottom as the poorest region in Namibia. So rich yet so poor, reads a newspaper headline in one of the local newspapers. This referring to the Kavango West region that is blessed with natural resources but still remain the poorest in the country. But while poverty is a reality in the region, there seemed to be a glimpse of hope, and some believe that agriculture could be this game changer for the region, which could finally take many inhabitants out of poverty. But it is one thing to dream and aspire to remove the chains of poverty, and it's another to put it into practice. MICT-Kavango West visited gardens in the region to see how horticulture farmers are doing. From the onset, one thing was very clear. Horticulture is no easy task. The gardens visited told a story of two sides. On one side, we were welcomed with greenery and full of produce. But the other side, a complete opposite of this. Sparseness and barren land welcomed us. The farmers say they face many challenges, such as lack of water, proper irrigation system, expensive inputs, and so on.
Punya tuanekere nago gouli odonomkisha digwano yo imeno yako mora moyo karanyasi moyiwiza moyo iseso ya tuvukugwana makura oyo imeno mchogwa ipura mchigondiro tante kanyasi igogamo igoma udigwa tuanekere nago anoko haro ko mema ose kuligauni na no community no mospata makura mema kugagwana kuhabara kwa makeli kwa molyo bakarera po ozo pomba ndike gende soyo pomba.
Sometimes we are having a breakdown of the water pump machine, and we have to take water from the river and watering our plants, and this did not discourage us. And also the insect.
Digutagwanekera na nene yoyo imbumburo yomakumona ina ya kugenda gora kwina. Oye mambilimbidi unya gena magungu ngo mga kuni angoso madamate tanzeli mwe tubunani na pamakura na genye ngoso tagalikana
Imbumburu kwa kuzona gurangwe mama kumona ngesi no mti kwa kuranda mara kwa kupombera mara yo kwa kuninka ya tomagura madamate pama kamna tuvurana na wakara no ninka situra ndeshe aga madamate gakarom tugwane mo silinga zonzi pastuvure tukarande no mchi tu yapopere meno yetu ya karakaramo.
Stakeholders such as the Regional Council, CRAVE, and others have over the past years contributed to the dream of making Kavango West green. They have tried to address the challenges facing farmers in the region, and this was evident as farmers showcased machinery, drip irrigation system, water tanks, fencing materials, and other equipment as some of the assistance they have received from various stakeholders or donors.
We are facilitating a lot of activities in terms of horticulture and also dryland production. In horticulture, we are establishing gardens for small-scale horticultural farmers for them to be able to produce in large quantities and to be able to sell and make also a living for themselves. Okay, currently we have assisted in total 140 farmers with a total of 17 gardens where we have installed drip irrigation systems, solar water pumps, and also supply inputs for the farmers, and also given the training. We have also given training to all the farmers for horticulture, and we are continuing to give them technical support. Before we installed the drip irrigation systems for the farmers, they used to use a flooding irrigation system, which was actually very labor intensive because the farmer need to go to the river and fetch water and to come and water their crops. Some of them, they were finding it very difficult, therefore they were not producing as much as they needed to be produced. So after the installation of drip irrigation system, we could see that a lot has improved. The labor intensity has also been minimized. The farmers are producing in bulk, and they are able to sell. Even some of the farmers are even able to sell to AMTA and also to the informal market.
But in most cases, the type of assistance that we render is like the procurement of the materials. We have to look at the gardening materials maybe that they need, or any other related equipment maybe that they need to use in their gardens, or the aspect maybe of the fencing and the inputs. We look at all those issues, and depending on the needs of the particular farmer, or the one who's successful upon the application. Yeah, then the other support also that we render in terms of capacity building, because in collaboration with the Minister of Urban and Rural Development, we also integrate these farmers. Like we sometimes cluster them with other regions to give them capacity building in terms of the horticulture production, the different topics that are involved, which can really help them to build their capacity. And then the aspect also of the business management and how to access market facilities. I think that is also part of it. Yeah, then lastly, the one that I can just bring, which is close to the region, which we have started, it's like the construction of the marketplaces. Because we have started like this financial year. If you go to Marema, we constructed a marketplace specific for these horticulture producers, and the ones that we are also busy at Stakeholder. I think in the other coming financial years, depending on the financial availability, we'll still expand such support to the needy horticulture producers.
While problems differed from farmer to farmer, the lack of market was one of the challenges that almost all farmers raised. They say, despite their efforts to produce more, some of this produce rot in their gardens as there is nowhere to sell it to. While some say they are sometimes forced to give their produce to animals or give it away to residents just to avoid it going to waste.
Pilituli memora umya kumonekasi bantu banziwa kulima ikunino yavuka omarande seronyi kwa kulihaka na onene marande sero unene posena si abandi omo itarata baba kaninka si wale bagwananare koso yogo ntudi wale to linyamo gendio se ko kanu nonguru se nonguru kudia kuilia Europe nonguru katu nyenge madamate agamonekera madamate manzi ogarande sera kwato yakatu etekere kwama bakuru pemo mwina gende wanafandisa mwina katuzire mara mokapwa kapikaika pwire mora gamwe gapilire ntani mtenya apana kutona ko mtenya makora kapia kara kota iningita iworo imu katika tengu dire kati atu ere kumara eragonya sino inguru to akara Yonye tupunya sikapia kuhepanana wa unene ininge. Morase ya ipata izikononguru.
Kurande sera unene mo mospata. Ndiko kuna konze zospata mwina moschi. Ingororo na mpili mo ya karasi. Ya karengwe ya tuzona ukire mara kapisi. Kuyazona ukayoinzi sene ya kapia hii karangweta ya zona ukaunene. Se ya karangweta chai mona singeshe kwa karakia zona ukangwe mga karamakowi. Ndiye punguli ya kukuta. Tatu ninki wa mkunda. Ta wiza tatu atereko yurugana ngwe yokulima. Tatu wape olie pungu. Ndi tatu wape oyo mogomako wiga karangwe kwa kwara kuzona uka. Ta gusamo tatu ara wa mkunda ta kalia wa mambo.
Nye udigwa karapo tupas marande sero. Inike tunge sose twalima twazangura ngesi na mpili notoroka ngesi ngano wawe. Kenye kumangano kwa kutwara tupuda kutwara. Nye dogoro popo hai. Inike tukwa kutuzona ukira. Iro imo to mgendi to muheteke kuza kwa wawe itora. Mukazoge na waso walempa mukuvira mugane kombatero barande inikeni. Nye bamwe itaka kutantira sha yose kapyatura anda inike yoponze. Simpezi ya tukire kuza korohara amta nagia kara no udigo. Yero ima pat kara no fakere no sugonge kwa tantira shaye onevana ndimangana muri turemo. Nyose twali turamo mara amta kapya kupura kuranda inike tu kwa kutuzona ukira. Kama no aprasha we inike inzito akara na yon tudi tango tudi itundemo yimwe. Silo twa kunedra itundemo yimwe inike yimwe niye tunaye kwa kuzona ukanye. Udigo ampara to gwanekera nawo. Ngana swa kara no mara ndesero. Awe sansi kasi nzarange sindidi rohepongano haye ureona mvura dongandi ngano tolimono tupasha mtuna mena tundu popena nakere ngano kuna zipontambo za peki nyopo kapta kuvura kutunda po marasi inike kwa kutuzona ukira nokusitwa kuirandesera unene napano pena ambara opo mkunda no warugenda nzira tupunye nikanyona kunika sikuvura rande po wale gawa liga tatu ndiga tano tani ambara wamwe unene wona kunika swale sina swakara maudigungonda sinomfa ndiambara utupito wontu di ono mona sho wale waambara wakusapota nsenya sikono mfa wale kubira kurande kwa mpili morongo no ihupe ndiwo ipito pena ana nsenya siri na hiyo yakapita awe leo tupasi limwe mtunga ko isenya sarande zuwa limwe ko limwe pamtali anda $10 tudinga karanda ena wale kubira papite wale mazuwa gabali ndiga tatu this weekend tanya karanda hene udigunyo sanska shinike ogesi mpe ya kaira ngoro momsa kupita sirwo imo yakuzona ukangoro ya ngwendinge sanska shinike tu kwa kuzumba ne saunene sili sio mtara ngesi o mongwendi mo mongoso kwa kumana kwa kwa kuzona ukayo tupta ugatetamo potuturemo wale ya peke turemo ngwendi madama tenyaga twa fanekeremo ogongoso kunika tupu wale nyambara ngwendi opo mkonda na kala na mpili kadama ko mahango ndiko usura wale makunikira tupasi nonkoto doge kapsi diepe hansa wale.
Despite the challenges and with some of the farmers abandoning their gardens due to what they say is lack of income, more and more horticulture farmers are emerging. It is thus no surprise that Kavango West Governor Sir Kausiko in her 2021 State of the Region address emphasized on why agriculture is important to the region.
Thus, agriculture is the future of this region and a catalyst for employment creation and poverty alleviation. With good investment, the region can become the food basket of our country and beyond. We are saying that Kavango West is going green, and the youth and women will champion this program.
So, is agriculture really the getaway from poverty for the Kavango West region? Is there livelihood in agriculture? Some farmers say not only is agriculture their source of income, but it has a potential to improve livelihoods and create jobs if taken seriously.
But of course, we are getting some income here, since we have employed 4 people here, 1 senior citizen and 3 youth. At least we are taking some of the burden on the shoulder of the government. We have employed them. At the other side also self-employment, because I'm also being paid by the garden. I can buy what I want.
Ya kusanse kasi spata momsa karangwe sisi mtu kuvura kuparuka na wanawa. Taparuka na wanawa ngwendi kuruga na rugana. Senetu kwa kuizangura kwa kutwara wakairandese kwa kuiranda kapito kara mtu no udigu onzara ndi wonomfe wadoge ndi mberero no hara kuranda mo msakara spate singesi kwa kumona apanasi vareke ngesi kwa kureta po yuma ipata ndisipata sakara mulio unene kureta eparu ko mtu ogwali turamo ipo akagwane moya kuvura kugwanamo yene bantu ni uyunjasi ngwendi kaptwa kuimona nyenseni ogenda kenye bangono zato kagwana bantu kwa kurandesa iba kurandesa ikwahiti oimali wagwanamo inzi wakugwanamo kapsi inunu liwe paru lya oli olimo lya genda ngoso omsaka respate siku uyunga usiliasi sene kapaka uliwo ngandi kwato imo yokuvura kushekera eparu ewawa.
But if Kavango West region is really to alleviate poverty through agriculture, then farming should be taken very serious, and more farmers have to do this on a permanent basis. A horticulture farmer for over a decade, Kanyanga Soke says, while many consider agriculture as dirty and that there may not be much income, he has been surviving solely from his garden for almost over a decade now. Narrating his story, his message is clear. Agriculture is the way, there is money in agriculture, and he is a living proof of that.
Kumona ngwe sewa kugwana ngesi momo na akara ngesi onyata ya bamwe mora kapya di ako yumasa nyasi walenga yum namo muliomo ya tazoro senyo lituramo okare nononkondo orugane muliomo guli mboroto mozili vene zonene amengwe nyameko tanikala tuposi hone nanye ya kwa kwetu nawe nya bakaranya si walie kwa kuimona si walie simple sininga so simple kwa to mulio nani moitapa ikamulio kwa kara pamowo watika mukanzuko kange moitapa ika tani ya konjohena ya tani ya randa motukara zange moitapa ika aye kapina tengura konyima tani ya konjo tani ya randa manongombe moitapa ika awe tungombe twange gesi name kama ndanda nikakupita weni hapa moitapa iko myatunda simbe yona ya konja hena yona ya randa mwena korokoro simwe so bakinye ame mo 2009 natunda mo usimba ngesi nakara no 11 ye eparu lyange nalinye moitapa ikaimani gwanene mboroto zange makura kwetu amweta ningasi aye tani zimo usimba nikapapare irugana nikapapa isinge nani irugana ye itwakara nayo nyamwe tukukono mkunda detu twakara nevulewa memagaga kupupa mukuro ya elituromo lyetu tupotwa apili elituromo lyokунengasi muntu okatauke okambadare masi okata ukasili ngwe momo na karangesi aye eparu molili nawa to paruka wene nawa kwa tundi kuongane no mura kusekela wene novengo moneka ngwe muruka.
So, what will it take for Kavango West to really go green? And are the farmers ready to take up this responsibility? Can farmers here produce on a much bigger scale? Some farmers say nothing is impossible with dedication and commitment. And they believe with the right attitude, dedication and support, Kavango West can indeed go green.
Why not? We can. And I even have that ambitions to produce more than what you see here today. And this land is not enough to cater for my plans. I still need land to produce more. Namibia is a country which needs to stand on its own when it comes to the food security. We can do it. If our neighbor in South Africa can feed their country, can feed Namibia and other neighboring countries, why not the women in Namibia, the youth in Namibia, the men in Namibia? We can do it. And there is still time for us to improve.
Olongana ili erwane nolit. Marano sewa nandimangesi ngakwa kunika siaye wale yako tudigopera unene mpamwe ampili ambara mwende wa unoma ketuwale kwa kuranda unene mwa kunika siaye kapiva kuranda inike ponike karanda tudi yoponze wale yako nikira ngano nyasi wale kwa kunika stawa randa ya momu ayo nganta tukashafira siri evano letose ngano kwara kuchida bonzara mosrongo
ya mara moyene ka kuvulika mora ikuni no yavuka ngesi sene tuninga tupunyasi udona o tupunyasi apatu zanguro mo Kavango West ni gazare wale sinzise tunatunyero ameno letwa singatwara kwa amta abantu banzi bakumuletera elimbo batwagwana kwasi bazura makura omokumone kanyasi nani sinzise tusomo Kavango mu nontekera davuka moka rera sorongongano kamna ikakara udigu sene tubututalo uranyasi ikunu twakara nayo inge nawo yakuvura kutupa abantu bakara no ikunu balitura mundingapi makura nsene balitura mo bantu kamna ikadigo pamokarera sorongo vura kasera ngamo msuvuri setupu nonjadi katundire ko sorongo soponze mone kasi unene pongwe Kavango zotokerezi nontekera nonzi dakaram kuvurika mokarera mplika wangu na nyezi kuvura kugwane kamukuzirera.
I would just like the farmers to take this opportunity as a golden opportunity to learn as much as they can, to acquire a lot of capacity to grasp whatever they are given and take it serious, so that at the end of the day they are able to stand there and say we are self-independent and we are also teaching other farmers in Kavango West. This is a very beautiful opportunity where a person is capacitated with everything to start up with a business, and we would like our farmers to look into this horticultural production as a business, not only for self or for home consumption, but as a business, because moving forward we are going. Namibia is looking into self-reliance when it comes to food production. Kavango West is not an exception. So we are trying to capacitate these farmers at least to be part of to contribute also to the GDP of the country at the end of the day, and also to food security mostly, meeting the government halfway. So I will urge the farmers to be serious and to take this opportunity serious, and then also to learn as much as they can at the end of the day, to be self-reliant, and then also to stand for their region as a whole.
We are having staff member being paid by the government every month, staff from the Ministry of Agriculture, and their work supposed to be to come out and help the farmers on how to produce quality products. That is point number one. And number two, they have to help us on how to set up our prices, and also look for us markets. Not all the people might know where to take their produce or where to sell it, unless staff member in offices to come out from various ministries to help the farmers to move where they are to the higher level.